You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to a.k.a. Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Crossbones After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Crossbones After Show.
Hey guys, we're back with Crossbones, episode 6.
Alas there, mate.
Yeah, this pirate music.
Alas there, mate.
Hole in the Head. I'm Kelly McInerney, and here's my awesome co-host.
What's going on, guys? Bobby DeMuro, and I need to talk about this show like I need a hole in the head. Hey-o!
Hey!
Yes!
Yeah. Just had to do it. Cool. So let's get into it. Nena and Rose, some stuff went down there.
What is going on?
Well,
By went
nothing.
down, do you mean Rose's body into the ground after being her throat? What is going on?
I mean, that's good, because I didn't really like that storyline.
No, I didn't either. It was going nowhere. They took 2 episodes to not kiss. This was the 3rd where they didn't kiss. So it's like either have the affair or don't. I understand the jewels for Nena, but like, dude, come on. So thankfully one of them's dead and we can finally get past that.
Yeah. Do you think, though, they had sex? Because she was, like, getting undressed and stuff, Rose.
No, I don't think so. I thought that Nena, I got the impression Nena like came in, that she wasn't there to begin with. I think that Rose was doing something else and Nena like came upon her.
All right.
I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know what's gonna. Now she's worried that the note, that there's a note that exists. I don't think there is though.
Although, does Nena get all of her money back that she's been kind of funneling to Rose? Because that would make Nena's life easier with the property, right? Because she needs to buy that property and do whatever she was going to do, like we saw last episode.
Well, she only gave her like a necklace and stuff, so maybe I don't know. We didn't see her like steal the stuff back.
Yeah.
We just saw her like rummage for that note and almost get caught. But I don't know. I'm pretty glad that that's over and done with, though.
That made no sense whatsoever. No. And it wasn't hot. It wasn't like gratuitous, like sexy hot to be like, okay, I can overlook it making no sense because it's hot. The whole time I was like, really? Is this happening? This does nothing for me.
Because it's like weird. And then Nena, I don't know what's going on in her head.
Nena doesn't know what's going on in Nena's head, so you're in good company. Because
she seemed like she was sad because you touched the thing, but does she? I think she just cares about money and getting her own island.
Well, we don't know for sure that Rose is dead because we only saw her struggling to get out of the thing, and we haven't seen her physical dead body. I know we all assume she's dead, but hey, maybe Rose will rise up from the dead too. You know what? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's happened before, like with apparently maybe Antoinette.
Yeah, whatever Antoinette is, something's going on because she's got a lot of issues herself. So maybe Rose is number 2 in that line.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jagger and Antoinette's thing because she's crazy.
She is crazy, and they both don't trust each other and yet really seem to need each other.
Yeah.
Antoinette needs Jagger to get to Blackbeard. Jagger also needs Antoinette to get to Blackbeard, yet they don't like each other, and Antoinette's very standoffish. So.
And she scrapes her eyes?
Yeah.
Or cries blood? Scrapes the eyes.
I think maybe a little bit of both. She's definitely scraping, but it looked like the blood was smearing down her face. It wasn't cuts there.
Yeah.
It definitely was coming out of her eyes. So
she's some supernatural thing, I think.
Maybe. And we keep seeing all this baby imagery with Antoinette that we really haven't had an answer to yet. We still don't know.
Well, she said she took from him, right? She
Yes.
took a gift from him or something. So maybe she took the baby from.
What'd she say? Took it, and what I gave is what I took.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So she took a gift, and what I gave is what I took was the last thing she said. So who knows what that is, and who knows what that means? I just want to know something with Antoinette. I just want to see what it's all about.
And at the end, when she's pretending she's holding the baby, it's right after he sees the vision. So maybe she does do these visions, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So she's in her little cell doing something, and then like presents it out into the world, like she's doing like a dream walking or something like that.
Astral project type stuff. But yeah, he wants to find Blackbeard, and she apparently is all mad about Selima getting. I think so. That's when.
I think Jagger, because Jagger's such a psychopath, and we'll talk about him later on because we see or maybe a sociopath, and more accurate. But Jagger's got so many problems that he knows how he can manipulate Antoinette to see Blackbeard, and he says, oh, well, Blackbeard's got a new girl. Here she is.
Yeah.
You know, let's go find her or whatever. And that's when the eye blood came out, is when Jagger showed Selima, the pictures of Selima, to Antoinette. So, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm saying because maybe she's still under the impression that he's her husband, because he even said, Jagger, you're his wife, or you're...
Yeah, and they lived together for 26 months. Remember that? The Port of Charleston in Carolina, you lived together for 1 or 2 years, and she's like 26 months. Like, she knew exactly how long it was.
She's obsessed.
Yeah.
She's one of those crazy Blackbeard fans that just finally got it, and...
Or one of those exes.
Yeah.
Don't date crazy, man. Do not date crazy.
Nope.
It'll come back to haunt you, literally. Oh, joke number 2. Yes. Okay.
Killing it. Oh.
I guess we don't know much about Antoinette. I know we tried to make a whole topic out of her, but there's not a whole lot we can tell her. There is one important thing about Antoinette, and we'll talk about it later with the English ships and the Spanish Armada and the gold and stuff, but it was those cradle songs that Antoinette told to Jagger. That was an interesting scene, but it really wasn't about her as much as it was about where Blackbeard's going with the gold.
Yeah.
So...
Because at first I didn't know what she was talking about until Jagger even, like, realized it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we could talk about Jagger if you want for a little bit. Yeah.
Let's do Jagger. Jagger's obviously a sociopath, and everyone now knows it. Knows how crazy he is, and knows how much he does not care, and he does not give an F. I'm not gonna say it. He does not care, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to get to Blackbeard. We already know he will because of what he did to Kate in that situation with Tom Lowe in the last episode. So I can't wait to see Jagger in the next few and what he's going to actually do to get to Blackbeard. I think we know he's taken the English ships to find the Spanish Armada, because by finding them, you will find Blackbeard. And I think we talked about this last week or the week before, and I can't remember which one of us was talking about it, but it's this idea of the English and the Spanish are enemies, and they're fighting. And in real-world history at this time, they were fighting naval wars against each other, because they were the two naval powers, them and the Portuguese. Well, guess what? Enemies can become allies for a time when you have a common enemy.
Yeah, a bigger enemy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, or if a threat you want to neutralize, and Blackbeard is the threat they want to neutralize. So I could see the English and Spanish becoming allies for a short period of time to do whatever to Blackbeard. And Jagger, if there's anybody crazy enough to do that, I think it's probably Jagger. Or think it can get done.
I wonder if they'll believe him, though. Because
the Spanish will believe him. Yeah, that's a good point. Why would they?
Yeah, because they're enemies, so they'll be like, "No, we're gonna do this anyways," and then that's when Blackbeard will get him. Maybe, I don't know. Just thinking. But yeah, and Lowe, he played he's the main guy, but his storyline, there's lots going on with him.
Oh God.
For instance, Fletch tells Lowe about that he's been going to this cave to find these, and they find these glass balls, which apparently set off bombs and everything. Yeah. And Lowe thinks that this is how he's gonna blow up Jamaica, and he's all set on, I gotta get out of here, and because if he goes, Jagger will bomb here no matter what. So he's got to find the mayor of South Carolina or something?
Oh, it was the governor of Carolina.
Yeah,
governor of Carolina.
Yeah. Because he figures if he goes to him, then it'll all work out. So he tells Kate everything too, and she's not happy with it.
Well, that Kate scene is so weird because I thought Kate was off of him, and then she made out with him right away, and then he kind of dropped the bomb on her, and she didn't like him again, and James was listening in, and James reports back to Blackbeard, and blah 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 blah. But that Kate scene, the relationships in this show just kind of confused me a little bit. Not only the lesbian affair with Rose and Nena, but this Kate and Tom totally on again, off again situation where I feel like Tom has been pretty clear with her about how he's physically attracted to her, but he's not going to do anything with her with that husband around. They already made that mistake. He realized it was a mistake, and he's kind of like, I'm backing off. You got your husband. And then for a while, Kate's okay with the husband. But now all of a sudden, she's making out with Tom again. Am I missing something? Did I not see an episode?
Yeah. I feel I don't really agree with their chemistry either. I think it's like kind of forced. Yeah. Because when you watch it, it's like, wait, do they really feel this? I don't know if she's really into that or if they're just making out just to make out, you know? Well, and same thing with him. Because I thought he was a good guy that's like, no, you have a husband, but now he's like, I love you, I'll do anything for you, just leave with me.
Yeah, and that was such a weird scene. They could have done that whole thing and it would have been interesting, and James still would have caught them, and James still would have thought something was amiss if they had just talked and not made out.
Yeah.
When your wife when your spouse is talking to somebody like behind closed doors about something secret and they're very close together, some level you're going to be like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, hold on a second. Even if you never see a make out, you're going to be like, okay, that's a little weird. I need to know what's going on with this. And I think you'd automatically be suspicious if you were James. The make out almost seemed a little gratuitous. And I assume he saw it, even though we didn't see him in the scene until a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he did see. I feel like he didn't see it because this show he's been out in the dark for so long, even though everybody else knows. I feel like they're gonna keep him in the dark even longer.
Yeah, they could. That's definitely a possibility.
But he did rush to Blackbeard super fast about.
I'm sorry to say it, but as fast as he could go.
Yeah.
Oops, didn't mean to say that.
But yeah, so. They continuing from the last episode of how Lowe wants to give Blackbeard this surgery to get the demons out of his head or whatever. Blackbeard's still into it, you know. He's like, yeah, you gotta fix me, no matter what. Even after he finds out Lowe's like a traitor, kinda.
Yeah.
But Lowe spiels this story that no, I was trying to save the island. I went to jail because I beat up Jagger or something. Tried to kill Jagger. It's like he's talking so many stories.
Hey, you know what? I think it was Mark Twain. I'm sure it wasn't only him. Other people have said this, but tell the truth, you have less to remember that way.
Yeah,
you know?
Seriously.
And Lowe has so many lies, and I know part of living as a spy and one of the King's Men is you probably have to lie a lot. That's, in the job description. But Lowe has so many lies, but I think at the same time, and Blackbeard says it about them sharing the same worldview, that even though Lowe was lying to him, Blackbeard looks around in that very interesting scene with Charlie and Selima after the sword fight, after Blackbeard kind of beats the crap out of Lowe, and he's like, Charlie, what should I do with him? And Charlie says, do him, kill him.
Yeah.
And Blackbeard goes, really? Because he deceived me, and he's not the only one who deceived me. And like time stops. Whatever he said, time stops for Charlie and Selima, and it's like, got him. You got caught. And then pulls him up, and it's interesting to see Blackbeard is almost the cat, like toying with mice. Charlie's a mouse, Selima's a mouse, Tom Lowe is a mouse at points, and he's just kind of toying with them. And Blackbeard's the ultimate predator in the sense that he's not only is he killing just to kill in some situations, but he is also using everybody for his own personal max benefit, and then will theoretically get rid of them. And Tom Lowe still has a benefit for Blackbeard, and that's the surgery. Yeah. And that's why he kept him around when he did, even though Lowe tried to kidnap him, pulled a gun on him, did all this other stuff. Blackbeard still needs that surgery. Even though Lowe was lying to him about it, Blackbeard still thinks he needs that surgery.
And Blackbeard's so adamant about it in that, like, Selima's like, this is gonna, might kill you or something. I love you, don't do this. And he, I think, is kind of paranoid that because she's going outside more, that she's gonna take his power. And he even tells her, no, do you want me to die so you could take my power? Yeah. And yeah, he's just crazy scared of these dreams.
But we knew this was going to happen. I like this part of the show. I know we've been complaining about a lot of things in the show, and I'm sorry, we don't hate the whole thing. We just hate little parts of it. I mean, seriously, but I like this part of the show in the sense that there is no honor among thieves, and we knew this was going to happen. I think in like episode 2 we talked about this, how these guys can't all trust each other. Charlie, Selima, Nenna, Blackbeard, all these pirates cannot trust each other, and now we're finally seeing it come to fruition, and all the cracks that are developing. Lowe may be the catalyst for these things, but these cracks were there. Lowe didn't have anything to do with Charlie and Selima having sex. He was not involved with that.
Nope.
So these cracks are creating on their own, and it's going to bust the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that'll be a good bloodbath or whatever to say.
Whatever pirates do with it.
And so the surgery actually does happen, and it's not pretty. Not a pretty thing to watch.
Nothing like putting a gold coin in your skull.
Yeah, right? Make it super piratey with that gold coin. What's on your mind all the time? Money.
The gold coin with the skull and crossbones on it, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. That's something something a rapper would do. Get like a tattoo of something right there. What's on your mind? I feel like rappers, what's on your mind? Money. They'd put like dollar signs on their head or something like that. I'm sure there's somebody who's done it. This is Blackbeard, like the original, like
gangster,
blinged out. Yeah. Total OG.
Yeah, before gold teeth. Gold skulls,
Gold
man.
skulls.
Yeah. And it does happen. It works, which is, I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of bummed that he doesn't die. I mean, I know he wasn't going to die, but I wanted it to be more dramatic.
Well, it works for now.
Yeah.
It works for this episode. You saw the previews for the next episode. Maybe it doesn't work next week. But I agree with you. It worked pretty well for now, and he turned out okay. And it was a surgery Lowe wasn't planning on doing and maybe didn't even really know how to do and kind of figured it out. And
Well, Selima was grilling him hardcore
Yeah.
about what is it? What do you need? And he was on point. So I guess he studied quite well, but I agree he didn't plan on doing it.
Yeah, and he told Fletch as much, and Fletch was a little shocked by that, but Fletch is a little shocked by everything.
Yeah, he's just like a little puppy dog. He doesn't know what's going on half the time.
Side note on Fletch, how about that scene where he gets captured by the pirates when they're looking for him, and he goes, "Oh, so we're not leaving then, right?"
Yeah.
Gets up and he's like, "Please note my incredulity," and walks off. I'm like, okay, that was his moment.
It's so funny. And so when Lowe captures Blackbeard, he even says, like, "I know what you're gonna do with Jamaica and everything," and Blackbeard kind of laughs at him, saying, "What are you talking? That was just a map. I've got plenty of maps."
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, kind of, I guess we didn't really see the plans. Kind of makes me think, hey, Lowe, you're such a smart guy. Why'd you just grab this random map and just assume he's going to blow this up?
Well, I don't think Lowe is a smart guy necessarily. I think Lowe is kind of an intelligent guy in how he functions on the island and the politics. But he's also English and loyal to the king, and so it's not about being smart for him, but maybe it's tunnel vision. He sees a map of Jamaica and assumes what he wants to see because of who he's been sworn to protect.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he's got a map of Jamaica. Blackbeard might do this. I have to look out for Jamaica, not considering all the possibilities and not having time to consider all the possibilities, which isn't necessarily his fault.
Do you think he's still a king of...
A king's man?
Yeah, king's
is
man.
Lowe? It's a good question. Yes, I do. I think he supports Santa Campagna in for what the island means, and not necessarily the actions they take to bring, influence and power and money to the island.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes the means in which they go about their business, but I think he likes what they are. And he's so tied to Kate, obviously he doesn't want to see the island harmed, unless she can get off safe. But I think he still is loyal to the king. I think Jagger is so unattractive to him, to Lowe, that Lowe may usurp his loyalty against the king just to get back at Jagger.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he'll be loyal to the king, and he'll be loyal to the crown, and loyal to England, and this whole idea, and Lowe says, okay, this is my job. However, Jagger is so evil and so disregarding of anything, and he's already done this to Kate, and he tried to kill me, and blah, 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 that if I have a shot, I will take out Jagger, even though he's supposed to be on my team, and I will give up my loyalty and be called a traitor because I hate Jagger so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, because he even said to Fletch how bad of a person that Jagger was and how he's deliberately not going to him because he's just, what did he say? Not a psychopath, he's deranged.
Yeah.
He's deranged.
And he said the same thing to Malkovich. He said, or to Malkovich,
Yeah.
to Blackbeard. He did say it to Malkovich. He said the same thing to Blackbeard in the sense that he was talking about taking Blackbeard to the governor of Carolina, and the governor of Carolina was going to see to it that Jagger was a governor in the Barbary Coast where nothing mattered, and Blackbeard's like, yeah, I'm going to be executed, and Tom Lowe was kind of like, yes, you probably will be.
Sorry.
But Jagger doesn't get a shot at Santa Campagna if this thing works out like it should. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, you talk about two people, Lowe and Blackbeard, just like England and Spain, aren't necessarily friends or probably enemies, but when you have a common enemy, and for them it's Jagger, you find ways to work together.
And it's crazy. Even after the surgery, he still kept around, Lowe, even though, I guess he's an ally. That's what he says. You're an ally now.
Yeah.
So, because he wanted to save Santa Campagna. But we find out that Blackbeard has a bigger plan in that Antoinette's little rhyme, saying that buried treasure under the sea or something. That's what the rhyme goes.
Deep. Yeah, I heard deep like 9 times. Yes, absolutely.
And that's when Jagger registers, oh, he's going to go after Spain, and he's got to get to the Spanish Armada before they
Which
off.
actually makes sense. We don't know for a fact that Jagger is correct. He could be wrong too. This could be something completely different.
Yeah.
I took it to mean, before I understood the Spanish Armada thing, and this is kind of a prediction, but I'll throw this out here. I took it to mean that Blackbeard had already buried his treasure way out deep in the ocean, and he was going to use those bombs to, like, dig it up in some way.
Oh, okay.
To explode the ocean floor, you know, a few miles out or whatever, and kind of dig it up. And I'm not sure how, and I'm not even sure that's practical at this point in time. Probably not, but who knows? It's Crossbones. Anything's practical.
Yeah.
And I took it to mean that it was already buried out there because these were cradle songs that Antoinette was talking about, which to me means Blackbeard has been singing them for a significant period of time. Mm-hmm. How could he have known about the chronometer and the Spanish Armada and all the gold and blah, 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 years and years in advance to sing these cradle songs and cast out a plan?
Yeah,
you know, so I thought maybe there is gold or is, you know, bullion already out there, and he's going to go get it. And Jagger may be wasting his time going to the Spanish Armada thinking Blackbeard's just going to chase them, but I don't know. I could be wrong. It does make sense, though, that Blackbeard would sell the chronometer to Spain so he could get Spain off the shipping lines, so he could track Spain. They'd be alone, and he could do whatever. So.
I think maybe the songs, he wanted to explode a naval army or whatever, but he didn't really know exactly. Maybe he had the beginning plans. I don't know. But that's a good idea, like the already buried treasure. But I feel like Blackbeard wants to kill people.
Well, here's my other thing. Well, you know what? I'll save that for predictions. Let's just not even do that. We'll do it in a little bit. Let's go on with the show. I'm going to write that down so I got a prediction.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so, I don't know. What else do you have anything else you want to add about the show?
Well, let me think about this. I mean, first off, I guess my first question for you is, what about James going to Blackbeard to talk about Tom? James doesn't really have a vested interest in Blackbeard. He's not loyal to Blackbeard. Blackbeard has taken care of him and employed him on this thing. But the way James came to the island, he was not like a sworn pirate or whatever. He was a hostage on another ship.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't, have a really vested interest in Blackbeard to the point where he would need to tell on Lowe. If James didn't tell on Lowe, Blackbeard would never find out that James knew about Lowe, so James would never be in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he just wants to get back at Lowe because of Lowe and Kate's relationship. Now, the flip side of this is Kate and James are kind of back together again, or we thought they were last week, and Lowe has completely helped James with his health. So James is indebted to Lowe. So I thought it was an interesting choice that James would flip on Lowe so quickly and show such disloyalty to Lowe when both those guys are kind of outsiders to Blackbeard. James is not like Charlie. He's not a pirate. He's not, Blackbeard's right-hand man. He's just a dude.
But also the whole opium thing. Remember when he was trying to deal with opium and Blackbeard kind of instigated, like, do more or else?
Yeah.
Or else, basically.
Yeah.
So I think maybe he just wanted to be like, listen, even though I'm a little bit shaky, hey, I'm still a good guy. This is how good I am.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's how I think. Or maybe he did see the kiss.
Yeah.
One of those things. And, yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Poor guy, if he did see the kiss, I'm going to tell you what.
No chance.
I will say one other thing about Charlie. Let's talk a little bit about Charlie and Nena, because these folks for pirates, to me, are relatively unsuccessful. And if Blackbeard's right-hand man is Charlie, Charlie's a tough guy. He's certainly scary, but he's not the smartest, and he's not the most efficient, and he's not the most capable. And I know that he looks at Blackbeard in a certain way, and we've talked about their relationship before. But Blackbeard's legacy, should he die, and Blackbeard believes he will die, he does not know Lowe has been lying to him. Blackbeard's legacy, should he die, is giving this up to Selima, who has been living inside and doesn't necessarily know the power struggle on the island or the politics off of it, or giving it up to Charlie, who is not the most capable guy, and Blackbeard's passed over time and again already. So I wonder if Blackbeard is grooming Lowe in some way to be kind of a successor in Santa Campagna because there's just nobody else there.
That's a good thought, because yeah, I mean, even though Selima's kind of getting a taste for the outside, she still doesn't know anything.
And I think Blackbeard not only doesn't trust her because of what she did with Charlie, I think he also doesn't trust her, period.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's because she's a woman, because her, agoraphobia issue, because Blackbeard doesn't trust anybody, maybe it's all of the three.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I just get the feeling that Blackbeard doesn't actually trust anyone. And Lowe, who has been so contrary to Blackbeard, may be the closest person Blackbeard has to trust.
Yeah, I agree, because even though he lies a lot, kind of Lowe, but Blackbeard knows what he is, essentially,
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, he knows what he's up to, and he thinks that he's trying to help him, because what he's saying is so smart and so like surgery. You know, he's very specific about his lies. He's not just like.
And how many people stand up to Blackbeard? Just Lowe.
Exactly.
James doesn't. We know Charlie doesn't, even though he squirrels around behind his back. We know Selima doesn't. Kate doesn't. None of the other pirates do. So Blackbeard, in a weird way, may actually have been like testing everybody. Not explicitly. I don't think it's like that. But it's almost as if Blackbeard's been testing everybody. Lowe's the only one who called Blackbeard out on his BS and kind of played the game with him. And maybe Blackbeard's sitting here and saying, that's the guy who has what it takes. I don't know if we can make him be a pirate or whatever, but Lowe's the guy who has what it takes. Selima's too unquestioning. Charlie's too unquestioning. Yes, I need them to be loyal to me when I'm here, but if I'm gone, I need somebody who can go rogue and lead the show.
Yeah, do what they want. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to think about it. Good job.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Anything else you want to add, or?
Oh man, I think that's about it. I've got a pretty deep prediction, but I don't know if we're gonna.
Let's just move into predictions then.
Let's do it.
Do it.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
We're moving fast on the episode this week.
Yeah.
I like it.
Gotta do it, man.
All right, I don't think you're ready for this.
All right. I'm ready. Tell me.
You have you gonna punch me or something if it's wrong? Okay. Up until today, we have not heard about Charleston, about the governor of Carolina, about the province of Carolina. None of it. The real Blackbeard did a lot of his work and a lot of his living in what is now Bath, North Carolina, which is up the Outer Banks from South Carolina. He died in the Outer Banks. The real Blackbeard was killed in the Outer Banks by Robert Maynard and the English. He spent a lot of time in piracy in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and at one point in real Blackbeard's life, he took the entire city of Charleston hostage by going into the port in Charleston. Why do I mention this? We finally hear about Carolina in today's episode. I don't think that's an accident. I think at some point, whether it's all the weapons Blackbeard is amassing or for some other reason, he will go and try to hold Charleston hostage. And that will be one of those, television events that mirrors real Blackbeard. And he will do something with the port of Charleston or with Carolina, and we are going to see him hold that town hostage for supplies or gold or jewels or whatever. Or that's the place where he can wreak havoc and do damage and kill, and we just don't know the entire story with him yet. But I think it's no accident that we've started to mention the governor of Carolina. I think it's no accident we mentioned, the port of Charleston or whatever it is. I think that we got 4 episodes to deal with it. I think it's coming. I think you're going to see him in Carolina at some point. Because real Blackbeard had spent so much time there, and the idea of Blackbeard's ghost being in the Outer Banks and being in Carolina to this day, supposedly without a head, we got to see him there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I guess it goes off your assumption, if maybe our joint assumption, if the Spanish Armada thing that Jagger believes is not actually true. That maybe the Hellburners and all those things are pointed for Charleston or something like that. So the real Blackbeard lived in Bath, North Carolina, and retired as a pirate during his career and lived on land there. So maybe there's a home or another story for Blackbeard there.
Yeah, maybe he'll end there.
Yeah.
Let's see. My predictions are the gift that she keeps saying. I said this already, but it's the baby. Yeah. It's because she keeps bringing up that baby. And I think Rose has no letter. I think she was full of it. When she's like, oh, I have a letter when I'm dead. I'm going to send that out. And I just think that Lowe and Kate keep getting it on.
Oh, God, I hope
Unfortunately. But I think that's it's like a seesaw. No, yes.
It's interesting about Rose's letter. Rose's letter would have to be pretty damn good. Because Nenna to Blackbeard is really kind of nobody.
Yeah.
So Rose's letter would have to be really pretty strong if it does exist. So we'd have to see a lot of that.
Also, she's nobody kind of too, Rose.
Yeah.
She's just, one of those girls. So I don't think, even if she does disappear, is it really a big deal? Is it big?
That's true. What's a prostitute on Santa Campagna? I mean, seriously, what value does she have if you have other ones? I think absolutely. That's a good point.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else you want to add, or no news, no gossip, right?
No news, no gossip this week, but it is back next week. We're not. I know we took July 4th off for the Friday night thing, but it's normal schedule now, so we'll be back next week.
Awesome. Where can we find you on the social media?
Tweet me. I know AfterBuzz just tweeted us that we were going live, so if you saw that, you saw this. I'm at Bobby DeMuro on Twitter.
And I'm Kelly McInerney, and you can find me at Holly Weirdo on Twitter and Instagram. Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.